Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. The God surrendering, unhappy and with abundance thing is seems to have hit a nerve lately. So I got another email this morning, and basically it's, I have two beautiful kids, I have money, something seems to be missing, and I'm trying to find out what it is. I have every reason to be happy. I'm starting to think that God is missing. Can you talk to me about surrender, and what exactly does that mean? All right. So what does surrender mean? Again, we all have to find our own way to that point in life where we're all out of answers, man. Our mind doesn't have any more solutions. And for me, that was my journey of alcoholism, at a certain point. So, all right. Surrender. What is surrender? I can really only speak from my own example. You have to find your own place that you realize that you're all out of answers. So when I was in the grips of my alcoholism, I used to be a pretty prolific writer, and I used to write all the time. And so I was about a year and a half sober, and I started to take my old manuscripts, right? And I'm a big journaler and all that stuff, short stories, poems, the whole thing. And so I started to do this 1 year where I was typing in what I'd written long form, and I'm reading this stuff that I had written about 6 years prior. And it's all about me wanting to be sober. It's all about me not being satisfied in life. It's all about me trying to figure out what it is. And I'm very much in tune with the fact that, my alcohol is a problem, that my drugs are a problem, that my anger is a problem. I'm writing about it. And so I get caught in this thing, and I'm about 3 weeks into doing this process. And I'm like, wow, this dude still, it dawns on me that the person who wrote all this still has 6 years left to suffer. 6 years till he finally gets sober and gets out of this prison that he's living in. And I'm like, oh my God, this dude's got 6 years left to sober. And so I'm writing, and I'm like, well, why does this dude gotta suffer? This dude's me, and I know who this is, but I don't live in it, but I know who he is because it was me. And I'm like, why does this dude gotta do this for 6 more years? He knows what the problem is. He's fully aware of all the problems, what needs to happen in order for him to get out of the problem, what the solution is. But for 6 more years, he's going to stay in this problem. And then it dawned on me at a certain point that the answer was that eventually I just ran out of ideas. I ran out of stuff to write down. Yes, Bird.
I'm tired.
Okay, then go lay down and go to bed.
No.
Or finish your math. If you're too tired to do your math, then you need to go take a nap.
I'm not tired. I just feel like I just want to take a break.
So you started it 5 minutes ago, right? Yeah. So if at 9:45 in the morning you're too tired to do your math, then just
I
climb back into bed and just go to bed for the day. I get it. I get it. Or
I feel like I just want to take a break.
Okay, so you're gonna take what is a relatively short thing to do, and this, and you're gonna make it all day.
I'm already at 14.
So what are you telling me? Yeah.
I want to do my thing.
There you go. Just go finish it, right? So it wasn't until I realized that I was I was just run out of ideas. That the one thing I had to change was all my thoughts. Like I could change all my circumstances. I could like stop drinking. I could do this and that. But I go, my real problem was my mind. And my mind was in control of the whole operation. My mind was my mind was fully aware of the problem, but my mind didn't want to go to the solution. And it wasn't until I realized that absolutely everything that this form contained didn't have any answers. This mind didn't have any answers. This heart didn't have any answers. These guts didn't have any more answers. This world didn't have any more answers. Nothing had any more answers. I couldn't, we talk about it in sobriety as these, I was powerless over alcohol and came to believe that understood my life was unmanageable, right? And most people are like, what's unmanageability, right? It's not about showing up on time or being late or anything like that. Unmanageability is the inability to be happy when you want to be happy. Like the countless days that I stood there in my alcoholism where I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful, everything's perfect, and I'm unhappy. That is the ultimate unmanageability, is knowing that for all intents and purposes, you should be totally happy, and you're not, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's it. Okay, just a sec. Owl, now you're being disruptive, dude. And I don't well, you don't need to make a bunch of noise to do it. So please. Okay. So it gets down to this thing where the surrender is about just understanding that absolutely everything contained in this unit here, this spacesuit, this consciousness, this brain, this life form, can't do it. And there's nothing you can do to do an end run. There's no cheat codes. There's no hacks. There's nothing. You're all out. You've tried all the hacks. You've tried all the cheat codes. You've tried all the beautiful vistas, the beautiful whatevers they were, and you're still left with this wanting of more. And so the surrender is just when you realize you're done trying to figure it out, man. That you're out of answers. It's just that, like you're out of answers. That you've stopped. It's like you stopped looking. You gave your life back, and I think that's really what it is. Is the surrender is you just give your life back to God, and everything that is your life, you just give it back to God. You're like, all right, God, like here all is, the money, the children, the house, the beautiful sunset, the whatever it is, you just go, God, I don't know how to do this. So here, you give it a try, and God will be like, okay, let's do it. And so the difference is this, and we've been through some major like life upheavals on this channel, is even in the worst scenarios of the last 11 years, the level of contentment, which equals happiness inside of that 11 years, outweighs the life prior to sobriety when there were no problems. There really weren't any problems. I was just a free-floating surfer skater guy. Didn't do anything I want. Didn't have any commitments, no debt, no bills, no nothing. And now I got a full life, dude. And I'll tell you what, we've had some problems on this in my reality. Houses burned down, communities burned down, separations, this and that. And the level of peace inside of all that can only be attributed to surrendering to God and giving my life over to God a long time ago. And it's just that. It's all about just, I've run out of ideas. I can't do it. And the minute you get there and you have nowhere else to turn, that's it. That's the final thing. Like the one more box of Legos, one more car, one more ski trip, one more this, one more that, one more child, one more girlfriend, one more this, one more that. When you finally get to the thing of be like, it doesn't matter. none of it's gonna fix anything. Then you're there. You're at the surrender. Then you just throw up your hands and go, okay, I played all this lower dimensional stuff out. Now what? And then you turn yourself over to God, and you're just like, all right, God, like, fill the God-sized hole. But you got to get there. You've got to be done with thinking you have the answers. That's hubris. That's the folly of man, dude. We don't have the answers. Yeah, we can make pencils and laptops, and we can do all sorts of cool stuff. But without God, it's just cool stuff, dude. It has no glory. It has no passion inside of it. It has no grace. It has no dignity. It's just stuff, man. So find that emptiness. The goal is you're trying to find the ultimate emptiness and then be like, it can't be any more empty. I don't want it to be any more empty. Now fill it up with love, God. Fill it up with forgiveness. Fill it up with grace and glory. And I hope for those of you who haven't found it, you find it quicker and stop trying to think your way out of it. You can't think your way out of it. There's no amount of cheat codes and workarounds and bypasses. It's just get with God and give him your discontent, your disharmony, and turn yourself in and go with God, and God will just fill your life full of glory. This is the illusion. Amen.